How to choose a career that goes with your personality type. I think this is really important for us because sometimes we don't really take into consideration when we're 18, we don't really have life experience, we don't really know who we are yet. We've only had the experience of being in school and what school has taught us, and there's so much to learn outside of school. And that's why I think that choosing a career when you're 18 is kind of a bad idea. Some people know right away, but others have a really difficult time with figuring this out. And I think this is because we don't have enough knowledge of what's out there, and we also don't know who we are yet. We don't really understand what we like, what we dislike, what we could learn to like, what kind of lifestyle we want to have. And that's really important for figuring out what we want to do for the rest of our life. That's a big question for an 18-year-old. So that's what I feel, and I think that you really should take this into account when you are deciding this. Think about who you are. Think about your likes and your dislikes. For instance, you may really enjoy doing photography, but marketing is involved with this photography business that you want to have. And so with that, I would say that do photography, learn the marketing side, but then once you're able to, hire somebody who can do the marketing for you. So you're not doing the things that drain your energy all the time. And you may have to do them at the start, but that's okay. Sometimes we have to do what we don't enjoy doing. And it's important that we know the basics anyway, so we can hire somebody good and we know that they're doing a good job. So that's one way. And for thinking about your likes and your dislikes, you may enjoy doing these things that you're naturally talented at, but maybe there's things that you're not naturally talented at that you could learn to enjoy. It's just that we enjoy doing a lot of things that we're good at. If we're not good at something, we're probably going to be like, I don't like doing that. But if you take the time to actually try and learn to be good at that, which takes some effort, of course, instead of a natural skill, you can learn to really enjoy something. And it's really important. These videos, for instance, I don't feel like I'm a good talker when I'm on camera or in speaking to people, but I'm learning to get better. So that is actually something I'm really starting to enjoy. But before, I really dreaded it. So that's one thing. Thinking about how you could learn to enjoy something. What is a big difference that you want to make in the world? And what are some skills that you could have that could get you there, that you may not enjoy doing right now, but you may be able to enjoy later on? Just visualize in your head maybe about what it would be like if you were actually good at this skill. Would you enjoy it? Think about things like, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Do you want to work with a whole bunch of people around? Do you get lit up by just talking to people and strategizing with people? Or are you more of a homebody and you would rather work alone, you work better alone, you just don't want to do a commute? All these things that you're just asking yourself these questions that kind of give you a better idea of the lifestyle that you want to have. And so other questions like, do you hate standing all day? Do you want a job where you're sitting? Do you enjoy moving around? Do you want to be outdoors? Do you want to experience the fresh air instead of feeling like you're cooped up in a home? Do you prefer traveling a lot, or do you not care? Do you just want to have like a family and settle down in a city or a town or something? But if you want to travel a lot, you want to be a digital nomad, you want to experience the world and you want to travel and work at the same time, then that's something that's going to be so different. Those two types of people are going to want two different kinds of jobs, two different kinds of work. It really depends on your personality type, and that's why no one can tell you this for you. you have to figure out who you are. You have to figure out all these little things, and it may seem like I know who I am, but the truth is that we really don't have a good idea of who we are a lot of the times. It's a big process of finding that out. Sometimes our mind gets in the way. Sometimes our mind tricks us to think we're a certain way, but we're actually not. For instance, there's limiting beliefs out there that the world feeds us. Like, for instance, everyone works a 9 to 5. That may just be a thought in your head. That's just the truth. But that's not true at all, because a lot of people don't do that. It may be harder to find a job that you work less than that, but that's not true that that's not an option. And if that's something you really want, then you can go and you can try and find a job that's better for that. And just figuring out the lifestyle that you want. And if you only want to work 4 days a week, then that's okay. If you want to work part-time at a job that pays well, and then on the side you want to work on a business that you're passionate about, that's a great idea too. And that's a great way to get a lot of money coming in, while at the same time you're not draining yourself and you're working towards something that excites you. There's so many questions to ask yourself. Just go deep, like deep of who you are, like all these questions. There's so many questions you could come up with. The answers are maybe not with you right now. Maybe you need to go experience something to really understand.